This is the statistics non-calculator worksheet set C. This is the worksheet you should be looking at. Right, make sure you have it ready in front of you. Make sure you look into mark it, and let's go through the questions to this. Okay, so the first question, read the question first. The heights of 50 students are recorded. So you know these numbers here, these frequencies add up to 50. But the first question asks, what's the modal class? The modal class is the one with the biggest frequency. The biggest frequency is 15, so the modal class is 170 to 180. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. This is one that a lot of you have problems with. Which class contains the median? So the median is the middle value, and we know that there are 50 of them altogether, so the halfway value is going to be 25. So let's actually do a cumulative frequency on the side here. That's the first 3, up to the second class, that's the first 13, up to here it's 26. Now I know straight away, that means the 25th term must be in this group here, 160 to 170. I'm going to carry on with the cumulative frequency so I could pick up these values for one of the later questions. But as I said, the 25th value, 25, why? Because that's half of 50. So the 25th value is going to be in this group here, 160 to 170. Again, question 4, it's really important that you plot the midpoints of the groups against the frequency, right? So these are the frequencies. Let's just write down the midpoints: 145, 155, 165, 175, 185, and 95, 195. So put a little marker down at where 145 is and go up to 3. Put a little marker where 155 is and go up to 10. Remember, it's the frequencies we're plotting. You do that to all the values, and then you join them up with straight lines using a ruler and a pencil. It's really important that you do this accurately, you read the scale carefully, and you do this precisely. Okay, going on to question 5. Question 5 is a probability question. And in this case here, we have 2 unknowns, but we're told that the probability of getting a 2 and probability of getting a 3 are the same. So if I add up the probabilities that I'm given, 0.23 at 0.09, that gives me 0.32. One takeaway, 0.32, tells me that these two here should add up to 0.68. I need to divide that by 2 to work out what each of the x's are. So 0.68 divided by 2, 0.34, and that's my value for x. When I look at question 6, this is usually part B of a 2-part question. 300 times the probability of getting a 4. If I look at that, the probability of getting a 4 is 0.09, so I'm going to do 300 times 0.09. Remember how I taught you how to do this? 3 times 9 is 27, add 2 zeros, and then take away 2 decimal places. The answer is going to be 27. Question 7. I'm going to use the cumulative frequency values that I wrote down when I did question 3. Okay, so these are the cumulative frequency values. And I'm going to plot those against the upper bounds. Right, circle these here. These are the upper bounds. So I'm going to plot the values. Take your time doing this, and then join them up using a smooth curve. Remember, it only goes up to 50, and here is my 50 value. I'm going to put a little marker here at 50 and write 50 in. Half of 50 is 25, which is going to be over here. Let's answer question 8, which is the median. So that's why I halved it. 25, go across from 25 and then down, and I'm picking up 170, 169, 169. If you wrote 170, maybe even 171, that'll be totally fine. Use the cumulative frequency graph to find the lower quartile and the upper quartile. Okay, half of 25 is 12.5. So a bit tricky here. You need to go halfway between two values, 12.5, go across and then down, and I'm picking up something like 159. Okay, for the upper quartile, now it might be tricky here, but you could add. I know you could add, so instead of finding the halfway value here and trying to do some fancy maths for that, add 25 and 12.5, and that gives you 37.5. Read the scale carefully. 37.5 means go across from there and down, and I'll need to pick up that value. I reckon that value there is 178. I'll plonk 178 there. That's my upper quartile. Remember, the interquartile range is the upper quartile, take away the lower quartile. 178, take away 159, and that's going to give me 19. Okay, that's my value there. Number 11. Find an estimate of the number of students whose height is 185. So, I'm going to find 185 here on the x-axis, the height axis. go up the scale and then across. Remember the question said more than 185, so I need to know what that gap is. Now a lot of you end up writing 45 as your answer. That's incorrect. You need to work out what that gap is, and that's going to be 50 take away 45, which is 5 centimeters. And that's my answer. Okay, pretty straightforward there. In question 12, you need to do a bit of additional working as you do the question. So we'll work it out as we go along. So the boy's median is 50. The girl's median is 40. And I just need to write a basic sentence. The boy's median, 50, is more than the girl's median. If I think about the range, the boy's range is going to be 90, take away 10, and that's 80. The girl's range is 70, take away 20, and that's going to be 50. So I'm just going to compare those. The boy's range, 80, is bigger than the girl's range, 50. Really important in this question. Sometimes it has a star next to it, but also sometimes they want the answer written in context. So if the question is referring to marks, height, weight, whatever it might be, try to put those words into your comparison and make sure it's written into context. This is a pretty straightforward set of questions. A lot of these here you're very likely to get in your exam. So make sure you understand it, make sure you know it, and make sure you can do it.